Hi guys, thank you so much again for tuning in into my channel. I'm Arlen Donaldson. I'm real estate agent here in Dallas, Texas. So today my topic, I'm super excited, especially for my client or my future client that is kind of new for all the terminologies that we're using in real estate. Like from my background, I don't know all this terminology. So this, I'm just gonna give you five. I will not give you too much because for me before in medical background, so we have our own medical terminologies as well, like in anatomy, physiology. So when I go to real estate, I'll just give you a little bit story. I don't know what is lean. I don't know what is DTI. I don't know what is all these terminologies, right? So right now, being an agent or being a real estate, I just really make sure that when you go to the transaction, make sure that the agent, whoever you use it, or sa akin, I'll explain it, example in Tagalog or English, para maintindihan nyo talaga kung ano yung nasa contract or naintindihan nyo kung ano yung process, right? So you understand what's really going on, what they're talking about, or ano yung mga term na yon or mga word na yon. So malalaman mo, like for me before, I Google it in Tagalog. So I really understand, like, gosh, what they're talking about. So maintindihan ko siya on my language, and now I can relate, I understand. I have the confidence to do the deal or sign a contract because I understand it, right? So five real estate terms that I will explain it to you. A cheat sheet for the first time home buyer or second time, or sometimes your husband is the one doing all the deals, or your husband or your wife doing all the transaction right now you need to do by yourself. So this is very important to you, so keep watching. Okay, so the first one is amortization. What is amortization in real estate? In terminology for amortization, this is repayment of the mortgage through a monthly principal and interest installment during the loan period. So meaning, if they say amortization, this is a repayment, means monthly payment of the principal and interest throughout the period of the loan. We call that amortization. So the second one, I'll explain it to you, is DTI. So what is DTI? DTI is debt to income ratio. We call that debt to income ratio, meaning the ratio that compares the cost of the home buyers to their gross income. So example, so you will understand it better. So if your DTI, if your debt is so much higher, if they run your social security in your credit score, they will check if your DTI, if your debt is so high, or your debt is good, or your debt is nice, right? So if they say, hey, your DTI is so high, what's that mean? You have a lot of utang, you have a lot of debt that you need to pay before we can get a house, or you need to pay some of your card or cars we need before we get to get your pre-approval. So what we call the DTI, debt to income ratio. You can Google it, or the lender will tell it to you what exactly the number that you can, how much only you use for your credit card for you to approve for the house, right? So we call that the DTI, debt to income ratio. How much your debt, how much your payment after you get the salary. So it's really important. Hope you guys doing amazing. So number 3 is closing costs. What is closing costs? So it's the fees of the purchase of the property that are due to the closing of the sales transaction. So meaning, if you go to closing, they will tell you, hey, your closing cost is, example, 10,000. So meaning that closing cost is included the down payment, but it's separate. It's like your example, I'm just throwing a number, okay? So your down payment is 20,000, okay? 5% of the purchase price. Example, you're not giving a lot, you just give 5% of the purchase price. So not only you pay for the $20,000, you also pay for the closing costs, like the recording, the title company, the taxes, and all that. We call that a closing cost. And make sure 2 days before closing, 48 hours before closing, you got to know the closing cost exact number, a dollar in a penny, because you need to go a cashier check. That's the one you will submit it to the title company. You don't need the cash for the closing cost. You need the cashier check, or you need a wire transfer to make sure that it's all good funded. So when we go to the signing all the paperwork, even you sell your house or you buy a house, you have the closing cost. So for the, if you want to sell your house, the closing cost, it will be deducted on the price. If you want to buy the house, the closing cost will be, you bring it to the closing table. You need to get a cashier check, or you need to get a wire transfer ready, right? So the number 4 is contingency. What is contingency, right? So before, I don't know what's contingency, right? Contingency is on the contract, meaning it's a condition included in the property purchase that safeguard the buyer into the event of problem. So example, if you are contingency upon inspection, okay? So contingency upon inspection, so I put sometimes 7 days on the contract or 5 days in the contract, and we do the inspection. So based on that contingency, if there's any issues that you don't want to deal, you don't want to, get this like a roof, foundation, you're scared of it, guess what? Based on the contingency, we can back out and get the money back, all of it, because of that is the contingency upon inspection. So that is the contingency. So the number 5, hope you guys learn from this. And number 5 is comps. Maybe you hear this one, hey, what is the comps? What is comparable, right? So home in a certain region or the certain area or the certain community, zip code, or for me, I did not go far. So I go like half a mile radius, 1 mile radius, or it depends if I can get like 30 days or 60 days sold on that property, right? So this is home in the certain region or area that have sold already. So sold in the last few months, in the last 60 days, 30 days, 90 days, that the real estate agent analyze the assets and analyze and assess the worth of the home, meaning that if like me as a real estate agent, I'll give you a comp, so give you a comparable, so you have also the knowledge, hey, how much really the selling, or how much really the price, based on the square foot, based on that area, based on the comparable, based on the sold. So right now, it's not only you, because the appraisal will use also the comparable. If you're doing the loan that your comparable is not sustaining the number, guess what? Either the appraisal is up or appraisal is down. So make sure that the comparable, you really study it, you really check based on square footage, based on the area, based on like half mile radius, 1 mile radius, to make sure that we don't have issue on the appraisal. The appraisal, another terminology, is like a god in real estate. Like for us, whatever the appraisal price, that is the price. So make sure that when you do the comparable, when you do the comps, is you know what you're doing, so we don't have issue later on the appraisal, so we can go to closing smoothly. So hope you guys learned from this video. Please subscribe, please like, and share it to your friends. Kung kayo po ay pupunta dito sa Dallas, Texas, I love to meet you in person and guide you with your buying process here, moving here to Dallas, and make it smooth and meet you guys in person. So thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and like, and have an amazing day. Have a great one.